Today, I'm lucky enough to have Mr. Papa on. He is the owner and founder of JVP Law in Plano, Texas. And I wanted to have him on today to kind of explain the experience he's had with Wise Guys and really just go over kind of his strategy. I think he's a very special and unique person in terms of his growth strategy, his entrepreneurial journey. And I really think that he's going to be a great asset and really a good insight on how to grow your law firm. So thank you so much for being on today. And I wanted to kind of go through and kind of from your perspective, what is your experience with Wise Guys, and then also kind of breaking down, the results that you've seen with working with us.
Cooper, thank you so much for having me today. I very much appreciate it. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad you selected me,
Yeah.
To be here to discuss what you've done for my firm. Frankly, it's been a blessing to have you, a big blessing. Privileged myself, and before I even met you, speaking with my rabbi, and he was talking about giving back to the community, and I started, giving back 10%, and I told my rabbi, I don't really have much to give right now. Marketing for my firm I wasn't doing that well. The money wasn't really coming in, and he said, just give it, and it's your obligation. So do it, and I did. So it wasn't long after that I met Cooper, interestingly, and things really changed when I met Cooper. Before I go into that, before I go to what happened after I met you, I want to talk about the journey to you. The journey to you, um, it was really riddled with many, many marketing companies, right? So I was using international marketing companies, national marketing companies. I mean, I remember in year one of my firm, when I just started, I had some national marketing companies quoting me at 6,000 a month, and I just started. And that year, I think I only made 86,000 the whole year. That year, it was an impossibility. So I had no choice but to look out internationally, look out maybe to colleges, students, whoever could help me with marketing, to try to drive traffic for the law firm. And it was at a certain point I knew that in order to get a strong marketing firm, I was going to have to achieve a certain profitability level, which would allow me to pay 6,000 a month or 10 or 20, whatever, right? To make sure that I could grow the business the way I wanted to. But really, I was lost. There was no way to do that because I hadn't met a company willing to allow me to spend the money I had to even try to work to grow me. So prior to meeting Cooper, I thought I'd met the best company yet, right? I'd met a company, I think they're out of Russia, and I think it cost me $500 a month. And they were working SEO for me, and I saw a little traction. Money was coming in, and it was good. I thought I was happy with them. Um, and um, and then I met Cooper. And unlike any other national company I'd met, rather than telling me here's your $6,000 price point that you can afford, if you can't afford it, goodbye, right? He got to know my firm, got to know me, um, and I love that because every partner of our firm, we have a relationship with them. My CPA, bookkeeper, my insurance. I have a relationship with them. I want to keep them over the span of time, and I'm not looking to move through them. Like marketing companies have many marketing companies. I had one guy who created a sales pipeline for me, right? And he got me like 40 leads or 100 leads on a month, right? But it cost me 3 or 4 grand, and then I think I only made 5 or 6 grand. So it just didn't make sense to keep him. I used Avo, I used Justia, I used everything. Um, and it all just wasn't really working. I mean, I burned through a lot of money to find Cooper, frankly. So I meet Cooper, and I remember the meeting. He got to know my business. I told him exactly what was going on. I have a Russian company do SEO. I have another company doing this marketing. I have this other one doing my GMB and somebody else, right? And I was very skeptical because I just been burned by marketing companies. I didn't even trust the bigger marketing companies. It was that's the kind of person I was when Cooper met me. And he provided me with options. He said, look, I can give you options. Tell me what you need, and I'm going to try to meet you in the middle, or even less in the middle, really less in the middle, to help grow your firm. And that's what he did. And I said, all right, look, I have $500. Where can we put it? And he started taking control of my GMB. And in that month, things got better. And he actually pointed out flaws, showed me was wrong. And I was like, oh my God, this is great. And so I allowed that to happen. And I really like this Russian company. So I knew that I was eventually going to have to get ties with them. So I wanted to transition to Cooper. And profitability was growing, things were healthy. It was an exciting time. And something new happened. Probably 3 or 4 months after hiring Cooper or bringing on Cooper, um, next thing I know, I'm in a position where I need another attorney. And so I reach out to Cooper at Wise Guys, and just like he had in the past, it was a very organic conversation. He understood my position, knew where I was at as a Cooper. I'm at 500. I want to get to that next level. I know that 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. I need more leads. I just know how to get there. And he said, let's maybe some time. And once you reach a certain profitability level, let's re-engage. So we did that, and then all of a sudden I had an opportunity. I had an attorney who was looking for work. I thought that would be a very talented person. And I came back to people and said, look, I really want this attorney. I want to hire this person within 3 months. I want to be able to pay them at least 80 to 90,000 a year. I have to be able to be competitive, right? And I know that was a better rate than other firms offered in areas close to me. Some as low as 75,000. But I wanted to offer something a little more to get someone who I thought was worth it and more talented. And so Cooper said, all right, let's do it. And he basically crafted a plan for me. And it took risk. I mean, I put money in, right? I think my amount went from 500 to 3,000 or something, right? A month. And next thing you know, the business is growing. I put the money in, it's growing. And now I can essentially have that attorney, make that attorney the offer I wanted to make, and then continue forward. And so I'm pretty nervous at this point because I mean, that month was good, or I had a couple good months with Cooper, but just like all my other marketing companies, that was going to fail. And here I am, and I've been with how long I've been with you? I don't know your company. It's been a while. I've been with them long
Almost,
enough to make multiple
yeah,
hires. I mean, I have an attorney, I have a paralegal, I have intake specialist. We're looking at hiring another attorney. I
yeah,
mean, profitability has grown substantially since I've hired Cooper. Um, and although I'm still nervous of the future, it's hard not to be, right?
of course, yeah,
Uh, I'm a lot more confident because I have him, I have his care, and I truly believe that Cooper is the kind of guy that he doesn't just care about his own business. Like he cares my business. Um, I think he sees that, that behind us as attorneys, we have families, we have our spouses, we have our children, we have the lives we want to live, we have the things we want, right? Whatever. And he even sees that with our staff, right? I believe he just sees that because he has his own staff, so he sees that like they want to live certain life too, and they want to pay off their loans and everything. So I think because he understands that about the person, it makes him, in my opinion, the best marketing company to work with, in the nation.
yeah,
And I was looking at other groups. I was looking at SMB team. I was looking at I don't know. There's another one. I forgot the name now. But Cooper's so long now. But I was looking at some of the most elite marketing companies, and I mean, at the point I'm at with Cooper, I could transition at this point financially, right? But I'm not going to because he was loyal to the firm. He helped me grow. He cares. Our conversations are always productive and get me excited about the future, frankly. So I have no intention of leaving. I'm staying. And frankly, this is a secret I have too. I don't want to give this up. People are asking me this video, and he's like a secret weapon, frankly. So
yeah. And I think that the biggest thing that we talk about is, one step at a time. And I think that the biggest thing is when you have rigid pricing where it's like, hey, my package is 6,000 and that's it. Well, it's hard to, every market's different. Every attorney has different goals. So it's not, you come to me and you're like, hey, this is what I want to achieve. It's not like, oh, I just create some, it's kind of going back, looking at the data, seeing that what we could do. I think that the next conversation we're having is expanding to a different city, expanding geographic areas to continually bring in those cases and leads as you continually grow. And so I think that's big too. And so, if someone's looking to hire us, what is a couple things that you'd want them to kind of keep in mind that kind of makes us stand apart? I know you hit on it a little bit and previously, but is there anything that you'd want a potential attorney to know?
yeah, I'd want him to know that number one, you're welcome for allowing you to like get to Cooper so quickly. While me, I spent thousands to try to find and locate Cooper. So number one, you're welcome. Number two, I mean, yeah, behind Cooper is a strong staff. You know, he has a very strong, talented staff that he has his eye on. So I'm the kind of guy, I gotta run the firm. I gotta focus on the law. I can't focus. I'm not the guy who's gonna go and work on the mark, and do all the, I'm not doing that. I don't do my taxes. My CPA does that. I don't do my bookkeeping. I don't do insurance for myself, right? That's how I look at it. So, I mean, I would say that you're in good hands. I would say I want you to know that if you decide to move forward with Cooper, you're in good hands, right? I imagine just when I initially worked with Cooper, to me it was a relationship where if things didn't work out with him, then they wouldn't, and we go our separate ways. And frankly, uh, at least I saw the effort, I saw the results, at that point, and like I didn't know how great it could be, but I did think to myself, well, if I part ways with this is at least the best experience I've had with a marketing company so far. I would say that he's very accessible. Cooper's very accessible, right? I don't call him, and I never recommend you do. No business owner wants that, right? But he's accessible. He's personable. I would say, what's the magic of wise guys? Him, it's Cooper. You're the magic of wise guys. You're the reason that I stay and I remain with the firm because your firm. Any attorney who's called multiple marketing companies can understand what I'm talking about here. You call these companies, they say they understand your concerns, they say they understand what's going on with you, and then they send you their template pricing that you can't afford, right? Like for any firm between 100 and 300,000, frankly, there's pretty much no solution. Okay, there's pretty much no solution. To me, Cooper's the only solution. Okay, like, and I've worked with so many. He seems to be the only one that between 1 and 3, right, and then three beyond, definitely three well beyond. He's there, but he's the one who can actually like take you when you're really small and very vulnerable, and could potentially lose your firm, right, and help you grow that firm, right, into something much stronger that you'll be very proud of, something you probably dreamed about, right? So I'd say that that's the one takeaway I'd say is that in the years that I've had this firm, he's the only marketing firm that worked with me when I can afford it. And it's made it so that when I can't afford it, I I want to stay with him because I want to see what else can be done, right? I would say, look, it can be attractive on a lot of these other marketing companies. Like I know SMB has been attractive to me. They have the videos and this and that, right? But when you look at it, when you look at all these marketing companies, really, it seems to be more of a numbers game than anything, right? Like you're just one of 1,000 other attorneys paying them X amount of money so that they can live their lives and do great, and then whatever happens to you basically happens to you. And that's how I felt the entire time talking about Cooper, right? And I get it. Like I'm not naive. Like business got to run, right? He's got a portfolio, he's got volume to manage as well. But it's the only company where I see the owner taking a very active step and being very interested in the concern of even a smaller law firm to succeed. I've never seen that. The other marketing companies basically say, well, too bad. I mean, if you can't get to this level, right? Then you're not ready for it yet. Well, then how do I get to that level, right? Where do you can't get to the level without some help in the beginning. It doesn't work. Also, you'll see pricing models from other marketing companies. It's not a lie necessarily, but it's when like for example, they'll quote you 3,000 a month, but they didn't consider the 3,000 of additional fees to Google or something, right? So really, it's 6,000. So with Cooper, it's not like that. He's going to tell you exactly what you're going to pay. You're going to, he's going to. I am not the guy asking Cooper for reports. I frankly don't care what his team's doing as long as my firm's making money, right? If you're like really detail oriented and like want every report from Cooper and want him to do everything in the world, I don't know what to say to you because we're different personalities. But for me, I took a leap of faith. I prayed to God. I eventually met Cooper, we worked together. I thought it was good. We continued working together. It got better, and we're continuing to grow. And I trust that just like I trust my CPA, he knows what he's doing. Just like I trust my bookkeeper, they know what they're doing. Just like I trust other vendors I have, they know what they're doing. And that's the key. So I would say that, you're in good hands. I mean, and if you want to, please don't call and harass me and email me to death. But if you want, my 2 cents about it, if I have time, maybe we can talk about it.
I love it. Okay, well, thank you so much for your time. And yeah, if you guys got questions, of course, just call him up all the time, barrage him, send him as many texts as you can in an hour, and I'm sure he'll love that. He's the type of guy that loves
Please,
being
please
annoyed.
don't. Please don't. Please don't.